Hey everyone, this is me, Time Liar G, and I'm going to be talking about some Deltarune mysteries from Chapter 3 and 4, and let's just get right into it. So the first mystery I want to talk about is how the hell whoever the knight is, whether it's Carol or Des, actually managed to carry Undyne all the way to the bunker in their Light World form. There's been some people saying that it's not their Light World form and they're still the knight, but Susie said she saw someone actually walking over to the bunker or running over to the bunker. She would have said, "Oh, it's the knight," but no, she just said someone's walking over there, which is very strange. So if it's Carol or Des, I don't think either of them, even both of them combined, even like 5 people could actually carry Undyne like that all the way to the bunker. Undyne is in the middle of the street lifting up cars. And just, how is that even possible? She's lifting up boulders. How is it possible that the knight could actually restrain them in their light world form? That's one of the bigger mysteries. And, I suppose they took Undyne because they wanted to get inside the bunker, but if it was Carol or Des, they could probably just open the bunker themselves, right? And I know it said something about a sacrifice on the phone, Chris's phone, so, maybe they wanted Undyne for a different reason, I don't know. It's just all very interesting. I don't think we have all the answers yet for this one. I don't think anybody can actually figure this one out. No matter how much we theorize on it, there's probably a pretty big piece of the puzzle that we're missing. The second mystery is, how did Asgore get his hands on a black shard? Is it from Carol? Did Carol give it to him? Did he go to a dark world? I personally think he went to a dark world. Maybe he already has one in the back of his flower shop that he doesn't tell anybody about. There's those double doors in the back where the flowers are upstairs, which I don't know where those doors actually lead to. Maybe there's some kind of back stairway or something. Well, if that was the case, actually, then the dark world would just be outside. So in that case, I don't really know, actually. On the side of his house, there's actually a kind of like a dirt patch that's missing. And it says there's a door covered in vines. So maybe that's it. Maybe he has his own dark world that he goes in there. Gerson says in chapter 5 of his book that, there's a garden burned with jealousy and something about pink gold pathways or something like that. So maybe I got 2 of those mixed up there, but I think that's what it said. I'm reading off script right now. I didn't go and check. But that's one of the bigger mysteries, is how Asgore actually has a black shard on him. And someone, I don't know who did this, but someone expanded the area that you can see from it while Asgore's talking in Carol and Rudy's bedroom. And you can see the black shard right there. It looks kind of like a katana on the ground. So that is really interesting. A lot of people, for some reason, thought he was talking about a shadow crystal when, the black shard is literally just called a black shard. And also in Chris's inventory, it doesn't change the name of it, so it's not like a pencil or anything. It's just called a black shard, and it has a triangle on it. That does not change whether you're in the dark world or the light world, so it's really interesting to think about how Asgore got his hands on this weapon. Maybe he fought the night before as well in a dark world, and he actually managed to defend himself from it. Third mystery. This is one that a lot of people were discussing, the identity of Mike, and I feel like Toby changed this during development. I don't think it was ever meant to be 3 different bosses like this. Maybe it was, but Spamton's story where he mentions Mike and everything, where he just drops, the act where he's like possessed and everything, and it seems like there's someone else talking through him when his like glasses go all staticky and everything. It just felt like Mike was supposed to be way more important than this. I don't know, and it's kind of weird that Mike, the boss fight, actually has a freedom motif as well, playing in the music. That could just be Toby trolling, but I don't know. There's something about this that seems very, very strange. All that Spamton build-up and everything, all of his lore was just for this, a minigame boss fight, really? I don't know. There's something weird going on with this. I don't think the real Mike is actually the microphone in the back. I think it's actually someone else still out there. I think there's someone else still out there called Mike. And he even has backstory with Tenna as well. I know they all said that they all pretend to be Tenna, but are all pretend to be Mike, but still, there's something very strange about this one, definitely. The fourth mystery. How is Ramb the only character that saw Chris open the dark fountain in his living room? How did Tenna not see that or ever bring it up? Maybe he did see it but just didn't mention it. It would be very weird for him to not mention that in the story or whatnot, but it seems like Ramb is the only one to actually know of that. There's also another question of how all the other Darkners got there as well. I kind of doubt that Chris had playing cards in his house and everything, or dice. I mean, okay, it's possible, but I don't see any of those laying around anywhere. And the Dark World didn't seem to extend to the kitchen either. You could say that the final area in Chapter 3 is Chris's fridge, but I don't think it is. I think that's an entirely different area. Somehow, that's just not part of Chris's house. Not exactly too sure. But yeah, no, it's just strange. How is Ramb the only one that saw that and the only one that ever brings it up? He seems like a secret boss at first, and I guess you could say he was the one holding the Shadow Mantle. That's another mystery. In the bunker and everything in the video game. It's just, there's a lot of mysteries with this one. I'm not really too sure on any of them. I do think that Ramb, he said, I didn't see anyone back there. I was on guard the entire time. I think he was playing with Chris. Just wanted Chris to have some fun and give him the Shadow Mantle. Speaking of the Shadow Mantle and the Black Shard, you can actually equip both of these on Noelle, and she has dialogue for the Shadow Mantle. I'm not so sure about the Black Shard one. I didn't try that myself, but when you try to equip the Shadow Mantle to her, she says something like, this is for a taller person, with a lot of ellipses, so it's very strange. Is she talking about deaths, I guess? I don't really know. There's really no telling with that one. It's kind of obscure. It's like when you try to equip her with Spamton's item, she says it's nostalgic. Or anything to do with Spamton, she says it's nostalgic because of the blog. We probably just don't have the answers for this one yet. I just thought it was interesting to point out. And I don't really have anything else to say about it. She could be talking about Asriel as well. If we're talking about taller people, I'm assuming that just means older. So, like, older than Chris, older than Susie and whatnot. Older than Noelle. So that could really just be anybody. That could really be anybody. She doesn't say bigger, she just says taller, so I have to assume that has something to do with age. So someone older is supposed to wear it, I guess. I don't really know. That's just my theory. And the final mystery on our list is, what did the last prophecy actually say? I like the theory that someone posted on V that I was reading, where he said that the last mural that Susie punched, and it was trying to be shown off before, but Rousai was replacing them. They kept getting destroyed. I'd assume that the last prophecy that Susie didn't like, it probably says something about the knight slaying the dragon. I really like that concept. That would be really cool if that's what it said. Another theory is that it said something about Noelle on it, that something would have to happen to Noelle. Maybe she's the angel of the prophecy. That's an entirely different thing, is why the angel mural was actually completely blocked off, where the player can't see it. There's a theory for that, saying that it's the player's face in the reflection. I really don't like meta stuff, I'm going to be honest. Like, I really don't like the idea that the soul is actually the player. It takes me out of the universe, really. It really does. As dumb as that sounds, I think that ruins the plot entirely. It makes the game not feel like more real than it should be. Like, the immersion is just broken, pretty much. So if the player really plays a major role like that, like they're the angel, it would kind of ruin the experience for me, really. Maybe it's different for you guys. You can go type in the comments and whatnot. But yeah, this one I have no idea on, really, what the last mural could be. I know for a fact it's going to be someone that has to, either sacrifice themselves at the end, or it really could just, it has to do with loss, definitely, with how Susie reacted to it. She seemed to take it pretty well afterwards, though. I really like that scene in the ending where she says, we're not going to let that happen. That was awesome. I really love the ending scene in Chapter 4. So I'll let you guys decide. You can write in the comments what you think this is. I just want to give a quick thank you here to everybody that watched through all the way to the end, and may Chris Deltarune bless you. He is a very good man. We love Chris Deltarune here.